All right, what's happening, my network marketing friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode in this pretty lengthy series on the whole concept of mastering the prospecting and recruiting game. And in today's episode, I want to talk about these two things right here, these ears that we've got. And what I find fascinating, and I think when you have and you've heard me talk about this before, when you if you want to change something, the first thing that you need to do is be aware that that thing needs changing. In other words, awareness is the first step towards creating change. And when I talk to you about this today, and then you start to observe it in and around wherever you go, you're going to realize that most people don't use these things very well. They don't listen. They interrupt people. They are always you're in a conversation with somebody and they're cutting them off. And let me tell you more about this. Let me tell you more about this. Whether we're talking about network marketing or anything else for that matter, people are constantly interrupting people. And what that does, if we look at and we're talking specifically about prospecting and recruiting mastery and network marketing, what it does is it creates an environment where the prospect, the individual that you're talking to, that you're looking to potentially sell your product to or put them into your business, when you don't actively listen, when you don't really turn these senses on and hear the things that they're telling you, it does two things. Number one, they quickly realize, oh my gosh, you're not even hearing me. You're not even listening to me. How do they pick up on that? Because, wow, you just cut me off mid-sentence. Wow, you asked me a question. I started answering the question and you cut me off yet again. And the other thing is you're not going to be able to hear the important things that they're telling you, which might lead you to being a service provider or a solution provider for that individual in terms of how your products may be able to provide solutions to them in their lives, because you'll never be able to identify the problems or the challenges that they're facing because you simply won't hear them. And I got to be honest with you, like for me personally, and this is like a lifelong, and I'll say it's a struggle. It's a lifelong struggle to be a really good listener and really hearing and paying attention to what people say. You know, case in point for me personally, and this is a habit that I know is something that it's a lifelong habit that I need to work on, is I meet so many people doing what I do for a living. I mean, running around speaking, training, meeting literally thousands, tens of thousands of people. I'm meeting somebody, I'm shaking their hand, and their name goes in one ear and it springs out the other ear, and like literally seconds later it's like, oh my gosh, what was that person's name? So I have to, when it comes to just the listening and hearing somebody's name, it's okay, I'm meeting this person, they're about to tell me their name, remember their name. I have to tell myself to do that. So and I've been doing this for many years now. When on the other hand, for me personally, when I get into a conversation with somebody and I'm going back and forth, like for example, I'm just getting back from a few days in Mexico with a group of people that I had never met before, and I'm in all these different conversations, and I'm really actively listening and paying attention to what these individuals are telling me, because I've trained myself to do that. Yeah, my fault is the name goes in one ear and out the other. But the thing is, once I got it the second time, because I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot your name. What's your name again? In fact, I had to do that on the bus down. I'm like, what was your name again? Because it literally, when I met them, I went in and out. And so the purpose of today's message in this series is just to get you thinking, how good of a listener am I? Am I really paying attention to what this person that I'm on the phone with or that's sitting right in front of me is saying? Am I really hearing what it is that they're telling me? Or am I so focused on trying to, get to my point or get to the next step in the equation? And I think the other thing is, when you start to pay attention to others, whether we're talking about business or not, and just see how conversations flow, you're going to realize how many people are super bad at actually hearing and listening to the things people are telling them. I would recommend staying off of political television when you're trying to study this stuff, because I mean, actually, that would be kind of an interesting thing for you to watch, because what you see are two people that are literally, if you're on let's say CNN, or you're on Fox News, for example, take the two polar opposites, right? You got the person in the middle who's the newscaster, and you got the one person on the left or the right, and the other person on the left or the right, and they're literally yelling at each other, and it's literally comedy, right? They're both speaking at the same time, and the host in the middle is like, "Oh my gosh, both of you guys shut up," right? And that's people getting into a political argument. I'm talking about an actual conversation with a human being, where you're getting to know someone, you're just discovering who they are, or where you're from, or whatever's going on in the conversation. And if it's a business conversation, where you're actually hearing the things that they're telling you, so you can pick up on the things that some person may be dissatisfied with or unhappy with, and then you can come back and be a true solution provider, rather than a pitcher who's just trying to sell your deal, sell your product, sell your deal, sell your product. So this episode doesn't need to be long. The whole purpose here is simply to get you to think, and get you to pay more attention to yourself, and to pay attention and be aware of what you see in others, when it comes to actively turning these things on and actually hearing the things that people are telling you. And I can tell you, when you do that, when you become a much better listener, you're going to become a much better recruiter and a much better customer acquisition person, because you're literally hearing the real things that these people are sharing with you. So if you're on my podcast channel, appreciate you guys. If you're on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? The rest of this episode is right here at toddfalcone.com/episode 181. Again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 181. We'll see you next time.